Hi, it's me, Samantha Graber, also known as Dr. Sam in some circles. And I wanted to hop on today to discuss something near and dear to my heart, my mama bear heart, that is. And the topic is stress and an often left out part of our human response to it. So in this week's blog and articles, I've been addressing something that I lovingly term the mama bear effect. Now, it is a meism for the more scientific term of tend and befriend when it's applied to our response to threats. See, women, y'all know this, we have many a superpower, one of which is our ability to connect and collaborate with others. See, when the stress gauntlet is thrown down, this superpower is more important than ever. Humans are interdependent creatures. No matter how loud we belt out the independent woman battle cry, the fact remains that we, in fact, need one another. Social relationships of all types are vital for navigating the demands of modern life, whether in the personal realm of life or the professional. Human connection and collaboration are absolutely critical. See, human beings, our social nature may have evolved in part because of the needs that we have for contact with others to ensure our very safety and survival when faced with threats. Whereas other species, they have thick skin, they have sharp teeth and nails, they have quick reflexes and a massive amount of strength, right? And they also, some of them have this ability to camouflage to protect themselves. Humans, we don't have those. In fact, when you think about it, we're pretty vulnerable as far as creatures in the wild. But we have adopted something like in the fact of group living and being amongst communities as our primary solution to problems that can interfere with our survival and reproduction, right? And that is the main objective of the human species, of any species, is survival and reproduction. Now, this past year and a half of this social isolation, I know we call it social distancing, but literally it's been isolation. It has done a fair share of damage, much of which has been psychologically and physically toxic. I don't know about you, but I have heard story after story of people really going down a very negative rabbit hole. Found myself a couple times going, "Ooh, girl, you better catch yourself because it is a slippery slope." Can you relate a little? Yeah, I think if we all talk about it, amongst ourselves, we can relate to that feeling. I'm seeing more and more studies from the lockdown coming forth, and they're really correlating this toxicity with a heightened risk of early mortality, more diseases coming about, and things that are preventable. But because of our very nature of needing to commune with others and be close, if not just physically, emotionally, and intellectually in a way, even. We're seeing more deaths being, and not just from the disease that's, being the infection, it's this toxicity and the disease of distance, I would say. So in addition to our survival benefits that, being in community can have, the social relationships, they serve a really important regulatory function. And social support is protective across our lifespan. We truly are better together. So the basics of the human stress response, they boil down to either becoming aggressive and mounting an active or antagonistic response to a threat, or the person can flee, either literally or metaphorically. So the first instance is the fight, right? We've heard this fight or flight. And the second one is the fleeing or the flight. Among the responses that contemporary stress researchers are interpreting what they say is the flight behavior, these are those very things like social withdrawal and even substance abuse, especially alcohol and drug abuse. And they're also referred to as self-medicating behaviors. Now, the biological component of the fight or flight, that requires has two interacting stress systems. One is the sympathetic nervous system. Probably all heard of that. That's the fight or flight part of the stress response. The parasympathetic is the feed and breed. And I'm pretty sure you can extrapolate what that one means. But the other part of that system, or those two systems, is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenocortical or the HPA axis. All right, so now this theory of this tend and befriend came to light back in 1998 when these researchers literally shocked a group of animals and those animals turned on each other. I don't know what led them all to that. I'm sure it was a bunch of sciencey, smarty, sparty stuff, but what they discovered and they realized is this is not how humans work. So they couldn't extrapolate this directly, but when there is, what we find that with humans is when there's an immediate threat, human beings are more likely to affiliate with one another and to offer one another aid or some solace. They are more likely to do that than to attack one another, especially when those humans are women. Remember the tragedies that befell us as a nation and that continue to unfold. Think back to the unification of our people as a people. We could use a whole lot more of that right now, couldn't we? Preferably without the tragedy. Thank you very much. You know, we're experiencing this compassion fatigue from so much of the tragic news constantly. We see more and more news that's propagating that us versus them mentality, the mentality of duality. And that duality can be both with an A and with an E, because it's dueling, it's constant. For there to be an us, there must be a them, right? And that mentality has not served us well on the whole. I don't know about you, but I really feel like we are more divided now than ever. We're more alone than ever. For such a connected world, we're falling down on the job here, y'all. And we're hurting more now than ever as a species, as a result. We hurt physically, mentally, and spiritually. Oh, now we won't admit it, mind you. We've got to have our perfect little smoke screens up, right? The smoke and mirrors, we can't be damaging that. That whole house of cards, oh no. We won't talk or acknowledge how frail that is. I don't know, maybe some folks are just more of that head in the sand type. You know, we like to think, okay, well, if I can't see it, then it must not be happening. But either way, those approaches, they won't help you now or in your future, or our future as a species. It won't help our planet or her people. Yeah, Mother Nature, she's displeased with our war on her, and our war with her must cease. And I really feel that the most impactful way that you and I can come to her aid is to end the war within you, yourself, and within your race, the human race, that is. So I encourage you to look deeper into this tend and befriend aspect of our stress responses. I wrote all about it in this week's LinkedIn article, as well as my blog at drsamgraber.com/blog. It's about the mama bear effect. So if you feel inclined, please check it out there. Much love to you and yours. See you later.